right, Shalom. We the brothers of Great Millstone, the church here in Birmingham, Alabama, and as always, want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Yeah, in the ancient Hebrew tongue would be the correct name of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. I also would like to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, you brothers out there laboring in His work, and as always, the believers, the Akim as well as the Aqua that subscribe to this truth as well. So we back once again through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shah, and this would be the 31st installment of As Foretold in the Scriptures, an ongoing series, if you will, dedicated to prophecy, man. And that's where we at in the process. All right, we are now in the third day of 2021, which is set to be an exciting year, especially based on 2020, So we are anticipating, of course, through prophecy that this year is going to get worse and worse. And pretty much the underlying topic is Jacob and Esau, man. We're in a time where those two entities are now pit, against one another. And there's no way you can escape that drama. It was going to come to a head. These two nations will eventually bump heads pursuing the biblical prophecy. Matter of fact, let's start off with that in the book of Genesis, the 27th chapter. And that's a stumbling block. What you mean prophecy, going to the book of Genesis? Well, give me Isaiah real quick. What's that? Isaiah 46 and 10. Get that real quick.
It's Isaiah 46 and 10. Declaring the end from the beginning.
See, declaring the end from the beginning, man. So prophecies, this book in its entirety consists of prophecy. Go ahead.
And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done.
Right. So now we're about to read the ancient times. Go ahead.
Saying, my counsel shall I stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
Yeah, which when you read, even from the beginning, there's prophecy concerning the latter days, and that's what we're about to read. Go ahead.
Genesis 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob.
Yep, and Esau hated Jacob, man. See, we know why the so-called white man is poised to shoot you. Oh, you got a lot of cops. These Edomites, they become cops to vicariously live out their fantasy of killing a Jake, man. Well, we know why the so-called white man has this perpetual hatred for you now. We know why, they stuck you on these reservations or barrios and ghettos and projects and hoods, Meanwhile, they are off in these suburban areas. All right, we found out why this man, don't want to see you in his neighborhoods. One of these devils peek out of their blind. Here it is, you making a delivery. They see a Jake, they call it. That happen all the time. You remember you had the overwhelming spirit of these Karens, which we gonna fuck you Edomite bitches up too, man. You white women, you not gonna escape. I was bringing that. I don't know if I brought it up, but I know I was telling a couple of brothers that one of the things these Edomite chicks would do back, in hardcore slavery, where they was dedicated to giving spoiled food to Jake, man. They with nuggets and shit like that, man. So we're gonna fuck you up too. But it was a while back, maybe a couple of months, where you had this momentum of these Karens calling the cops. The kids having a birthday party. There was one incident where a guy was walking his dog in the park. A bitch called the cops, man. Well, we know why now. We know why. The spirit of Yahweh Shah showed us, and it's found in the scriptures. That hatred, we can go to the source, the humble beginnings of that hatred. Look no further than the Holy Scriptures if you're wondering why the so-called white man, have this hatred for you. This infinity of hate for you. You got something? All right, go ahead.
Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel.
Yeah, when you go into that word perpetual in relation to duration, it says forever, man. Meaning the so-called white man can't be rehabilitated. And prove that this nigga got everything he wants. This nigga got the planet Earth. He controlled the money. He cornered the market concerning the resources. But his fix is killing Jake. Hey, even if you consider gangsters, low life, grimy niggas, hey, they get paid. They'll say, fuck it, man. If they get their bread, they might say, nah, man, we ain't gonna have no drug war. I'm good. I got me, They just want to chill. These devils got everything at their disposal, yet their desire is to kill you. Why? Because that's the prize in these devils' eyes, man. the blood of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. See? Go ahead, read that again.
It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel
Go ahead.
by the force of the sword.
Yeah, by the force of the sword. And we about to come into a time now where that's going to be emphasized. All right? It's going to be magnified, if you will. That friction, that struggle in the womb is going to actually play out more than ever here in this lifetime. This is the climax, the apex, if you will, to that drama. See, go ahead.
It says, in the time of their calamity, in the time their iniquity had an end.
All right. So that's why Scripture says they furthered the affliction. Anybody else got something before we go back? Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 18:10. If he begot a son that is a robber, a shed of blood, and that doeth the like of any one of these things, jumping to verse 12, hath oppressed the poor.
Which we know who that is, man. Overall. Okay? You have begotten a robber, a shedder of blood. It's woven in your DNA as a part of the so-called white man's fabric to shed blood. Go ahead.
Ezekiel 18:20.
And not just blood, even though we know this man, he bombed these other nations, he waged war against these other nations in the form of these different skirmishes that break out. Even the animals, the trees, those are living entities. The trees is a living entity. This man cut down the trees, but the prize, again, is Israel. It's like this nigga is hunting. When they go out hunting, they're doing that to suffice that fix. You have a heroin addict. He needs that quick fix. That's Esau. Esau needs blood, so they go and hunt till the day they can come after you.
That's it.
Right? Go ahead.
Ezekiel 18:12, hath oppressed the poor and needy, has spoiled by violence, have not restored the pledge.
Yeah, and they haven't done any of those things. All these qualities actually fit the so-called white man. This man spoiled us by way of blood, by violence. You haven't restored the pledge, Go ahead.
It says, and have lifted up his eyes to the idols, have committed abomination, have given forth upon usury, and have taken increase.
Yeah, and that's another thing with this man. The usury. What happened in Jekyll Island when you go into the history, where these devils pretty much seized. Well, even going back to like Fort Knox, you thought it was gold. There haven't been gold in there. Man, you think it's gold in there, man. The robber came, man. The devil, the so-called white man, the jack. That's the real jack boy, man. This nigga seized control of the gold, and he gave you FRNs, Federal Reserve notes. And we watched that clip last night of that banker, man. You saw that? Hey, that's real deal. That's so. But you saw the pride in these devils, Motherfucker robbed you, and sit in pull up in your yard. Go ahead, man. And say this is my shit. I'm talking. We can go there. This nigga say this is my shit. Run up in your shit, send you out the house, and you come back, for justice. He got his picture on the wall in the contract telling you sign this. Go ahead,
Ezekiel 18:13 have given forth upon usury and have taken increase. Shall he then live? He shall not live.
Yeah, so the so-called white man would not live. All right, and overall, his system, his society, what you see this nigga scratching and clawing. What you're witnessing right now is nothing more than the desperation of Esau. Because he understands what's at stake. Whether, some simple Negro, like you had a couple of guys come up to the camp asking questions, they don't understand the gist of what this is about, man. This is about rulership. They don't understand what the so-called white man, the lengths this nigga is about to go to get this up, to keep momentum of this rulership, man. Well, the scriptures say he would not live. So that's the comfort of Yahweh Shemel. He's not going to survive. He's not going to continue to oppress us. This kingdom, this current system will not continue to be established. In fact, the Lord has set the overthrow. It's going to be a violent overthrow. And that's just the beginning. There's going to be an effort to usher in our kingdom. Then what we're going to do, we're going to kick your ass, man. That's the good news. All right?
Finish
that off, bring everything out before we go back.
He shall not live. He hath done all these abominations. He shall surely die. His blood shall be upon him.
Yeah, so, hey, the blood is on you. You got to pay for that, man. That's justice right there. All right, so come on.
This Psalms 50:20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son.
Yeah, that's what you're doing, man. You speak against your brother. That's why you have the narrative right now we have to have the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans next. Like you had, what's the guy? Kumos. He came on. He came out. He went to quoting Bible scriptures. Let's show you right there. You know, he trying to play on the psyche of Jake, man. That was the serpent. That was a form of the serpent, man. See that?
The last shall be first.
Yeah, the last. You hear this nigga, man? So he's saying, you know how he try to play it like you in the lunch line with your tray. Nah, I'm afraid. No way. Nah, I'll be last. You go first, man. I'm telling you, man. Hey, but you know this. Hey, the scriptures tell you his ways are always grievous, man. That's why the scriptures tell you how with much knowledge is much sorrow, man. You have been exposed to sensitive information, man, concerning the ill treatment of our forefathers. The reason why you're in the condition, and the motherfucker that did is prancing around you. He's walking around with his head up in the air, man. See, go ahead, huh? You more?
That was it.
Okay, come. Matter of fact, read it one more time.
Come. It's like
you said you speak against your own mother's son.
Psalms 50 and 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother.
Yeah, you sitting, you in the cut. You sitting in these meetings speaking against your own mother's son. So you coming up with this narrative and you setting different legislation in play so you can blame Israel, man. See, go ahead.
Thou slanderest thy own mother's son.
Yeah, you slander your own mother's son. And we already seen the slander. You know, how they try to, but you notice everything is weak. Those darks is not as, those darks weak now. They try to come with what happened up in Philly, where you have a nigga in a garment. Nigga in a garment with fringes, ran up, kicked in somebody's door with a machete. Get the fuck out of here, man. You know, but that's the form of them slandering us, man. And this is how this man always went about his business. When you go into like Taliban, Al-Qaeda, which we know we really go into, a lot of CIA operatives at work, but a lot of those movements, you had sincere resistors. Then Esau set the stage up like they was the big bad threat to the world. You know, they'll show you footage. I don't know if y'all remember back when the tension with the Middle East. They'll show you footage of 15 Islamic rebels, niggas in garments with sandals, man, with one pickup truck, a 2004 S10 pickup truck with a couple of choppers. And the media said, you know, the Taliban, these guys. And you simple people believe it, man. Like that's and them niggas, not to mention, they way across the globe in a pickup truck. How they gonna get to me, man? But that's what these devils do. They create the boogeyman to justify them coming after them, man. So that's what they're trying to do in the form of slandering us. It also tells you, I believe that's in Psalms 31 and like 13. I have heard the slander of them that hate me, man. All right.
So, real quick.
Go ahead.
It's on Psalms 10 and 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud.
Woo! His mouth, meaning everything he puts forth in the form of his legislation, it's full of deceit, man. You know? And what?
Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Yeah, and mischief and vanity, man. Meaning his laws. This nigga is mischievous, man. Again, you gotta remember the scriptures refer to the so-called white man and his power and how his rank is that of a child. The scriptures say, woe unto thee land when thy king is a child, man. And it says, and who eat his bread in the morning. That goes into Esau because he lacked the discipline to wait on the food to finish, you know? And that's why today you got fast food restaurants and microwaves and shit. That's nothing more than a trademark. That's a staple of who's in power, so-called white men. See that? All right, come on.
Something back up that snap.
All right, go ahead.
This Psalms 101 in verse 5. It says, "Whoso privily slander his neighbor,
woo,
him will
It say, whoso privily, which translates to privately. That's the lurking places. This nigga is in these meetings, in the Bilderberg meeting, privately looking to slander you. You know? Go ahead.
It says, "Whoso privily slander his neighbor, him will I cut off.
Yep.
Him that hath an high look in a proud heart,
woo,
will I not suffer."
Yeah, so that's dealing with the so-called white man. And you know, we talking about, you know, the higher ups here. Because you know, another thing that seems to be a challenge for these. So the scriptures call you spiritually, mentally retarded, man. The scriptures talk about you being uncircumcised in the ear. But you know, one of the challenges for these guys is when we say the so-called white man is proud, they base it upon the Edomite that they saw, you know, at Walmart, you know, in the line, or some bomb Edomite, you know. See, they have a ceiling. We looking past that. Even those devils on the low level proud as hell too. They look at you like you ain't shit. But these higher ups, if you was a fly on the wall, if you could ill hustle with these motherfuckers, how they speak, man, you know, how they feel as if they got everything on lock. Oh, that's why right now the Lord's stirring them up. You know, they have been driven. Or scriptures tell you how they're gonna be driven to their feet. Now, at one time the nigga was on the sofa with his feet up. Then he heard that motherfucker kick in your door, and you're gonna be driven to your feet, man. That's what's happening with these elites now. But you know, they real proud. They got high and lofty looks, man. Go ahead,
That was it on it.
All right. So anybody else got something to go back?
I got something bad though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Proverbs 22:7, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender.
Yeah, and that's us. That's why you have this system is based upon debt. That's how we know this is the most powerful book on the planet Earth, man. You the borrower, either way it go. You thought you bought a car, you financing, or you thought you got a crib, the land not yours, and all these damn, you know, clauses in these contracts. Now I'm saying you owe. You know what I mean? And just by having that Federal Reserve, that's what type of slick demon you dealing with, man. That's the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Yep, go ahead.
Just to back y'all up, Exodus 22:25. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as a usurer.
Woo! And that's what they do. They tax you. That's a usurer, man. Like you get this much, and this motherfucker give you got 2.5. All this crazy shit. Now you owe them way more than what you borrowed. See?
Yeah, you buy the home, but you gotta pay property tax.
Yeah.
Still, you own the home, but property tax.
Fuck
You don't
that.
own the land.
That don't make sense. That's a nigga shaking you down. That's like extort. You know, like the mob.
Oh yeah, shake that.
Motherfucker shaking you down, man. Go ahead,
It says, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury.
Yeah, that's the taxes. You know? Hey, this is an oppressive, this system is oppressive, man. That's why it's known as the pit. And that's why when you read, what's that word pit, when you go into it, it goes back to the system. That's why you hear Jake say, man, I'm caught up in the system. This all spiritual, man. Oh, it also tells you that in Isaiah, the 51st chapter, how the captive exile hastened that he would not die in the pit, man. That's America, man. This place is oppressive on all sides. Everything you do is, everything you have placed in front of you, everything presented unto you is grievous, man. You know, and subject to kill you. That's why we have, you know, an affinity for this truth, man. This is life. That is hope now. We know for a fact there's no other hope for you niggas. We done seen it already. Like there's a nigga said, man, well, I just got an NBA contract. We saw that already. We saw NBA contract ain't did nothing for you, man. You eventually died. You know, if you were old enough, you eventually lost it all. You know what? You went back into the shadow. You didn't make an impact. You didn't do nothing to help Jake. A record deal. What do that do, man? You know? Come on, go ahead.
That was it on it.
That was it? All right, so yeah, let's go back where we at.
This is Genesis 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing.
Yeah, so now we know why this man hates us. Our people still bumping it, banging their head against the wall, you know, scratching their head, trying to figure out why this devil hate us, man. Why we can't just get on, why we can't be equal, man. Motherfucking margin, can we just be equal, man? But see, now the Lord have given us, you know, that sense of pride and righteousness again, knowing who we are. We pretty much royalty and exile. We princes, we prisoners of war over here in a foreign land under our arch enemies, man. Go ahead, huh?
He said Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart.
Well, that privately, see, he said in his heart. Go ahead.
The days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob.
So that's showing you right there, when you read the scriptures through spiritual lenses, this decree right here was set for a later time. It was set for a particular time where this man would rise up against his brother. Matter of fact, give me real quick, I think there's Wisdom of Solomon, 10 and 10. Yep, get that real quick. And through the spirit, we're going to bring out some information showing you where this man is ready to pounce on you. You know, if you see like a lion, he make this step, he make that step. Then he get on a certain step, you can feel it. You see that lion get in a certain position. That was scripture talk about crouching, you know? That lion get in a certain position, you know he's about to pounce. That lurking. So in the spirit, that lion represents power. The powers that be is ready to come after the poor, man. That's the story, man. Go ahead, Doc.
With Solomon 10 and 10, when the righteous fled from his brother's wrath.
Yep, and who is the brother? Esau. Give me real quick Revelation, the 12th chapter, in the 12th verse. Read that one more time, up.
Wisdom of Solomon 10 and 10, when the righteous fled from his brother's wrath.
Woo, fled from his brother's wrath. And that's heavy. Because it didn't say he stood up against him and valiantly, no, he fled. And it was wisdom that made him flee. Because a wise man knows his battles. That's what the scriptures tell you too. When you really read the scripture, it's a thing of preserving you. You got knuckle, you got a hot head, like them SUPK niggas. Them just some gang banging, them some niggas that just got the jump, man, and they ready to ride, you know. That ain't what this is about, man. This is, yeah.
The halfway house.
Yeah, niggas that got the halfway house. Yeah, God. Nigga in shades. I can't trust you, man. Yep, go ahead, read that again.
Wisdom Solomon 10 and 10, when the righteous fled from his brother's wrath.
Yeah, so that proved that we're gonna flee from this wrath. Right? Matter of fact, give me Revelation 12 and 12.
This is the book of Revelation 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath.
So, that's the same brother who coming down with wrath. Now, when you read that happened in history. Jacob actually fled from Esau, man. You know, but again, everything is spiritual. See that? And as you read Wisdom of Solomon, the 10th chapter again, it's gonna show you that. We're in a time now where that same brother is gonna rise up against his brother Jacob, man. And he's gonna rise up against him. And Cain is ready to rise up against Abel again. You know? That's the story. But this time it's going to be through his military, man. And Yahushua spoke about that in, what's that, Luke the 19th chapter? Yahushua told you right there, man. So this man going to rise up against you with his military. See, go ahead.
It says, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time.
Yeah, so this devil know that he have but a short time now. You know? And who is contributing to that? The prophets. We told him that he had but a short time. Right? So now let's go back and finish this off.
Wisdom Solomon 10:10, when the righteous fled from his brother's wrath, she guided him in the right path.
Yep, she guided him. See that's what's that dealing with? Wisdom. She guided him in the right path. See, go ahead.
Showed him the kingdom of the Most High.
Let you know this is that time. You know, go ahead.
And gave him knowledge of holy things, made him rich in his travels, and multiplied the fruit of his labor.
And that's it. When you consider the story of Jacob, he had, he was fleeing, he wrestled for the birth. He was shown the kingdom, man. But now that is proven through us, you know. All right. So that was spirit. Yeah, so that was it on that?
Yeah, that's it on that.
All right, so now let's go back to where we was at.
I'm back Genesis 27:41. Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing.
Yep, go ahead.
With his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
See that? And that all happened again in the spirit. After our Lord Yahushua, was crucified. And what happened after that? 70 AD. That's when the wrath was on. And from thence, they rounded us up. We was chased out of our land. That's the history. you know, into the interiors of Western Africa and certain parts of that region. And later, those devils in their persistence, which really was biblical prophecy, later came as the bankers. It was funded by the bankers, and they rounded us up and brought us over here as cargo, man. See that? But now we're in the time. That's the same. That's a storyline. It didn't end there. We're in a time now where that man is going to look the slave, man. See that? And again, it's going to be by way of his sword, which is his military. So now, real quick, you got something?
I got a precept.
All right, get what y'all got there. Let's go into a little info. Go ahead.
Psalm 37:14. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy.
Woo, the wicked have drawn out the sword. This is how this man is looking to deal with you, man. You know? Hey, somebody draw out on you. What the fuck? Like, go ahead.
And to slaves such as be of upright conversation.
Yep, and that's dealing with first and foremost the prophets, man. Oh, and that's reiterated in Revelation. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick since he brought that out. You got more of it out?
Nah, that was it.
Yeah, Revelation 12. Yep.
It's back on Revelation, Revelation 12 and 17. It says, for the dragon was wroth.
Yep, for the dragon was wroth, which goes back into that wrath. Jacob fleeing from his brother's wrath. That's the same dragon. That's the same old serpent of old, man. The serpent from the garden. See, go ahead.
See, and the dragon was wroth with the woman.
And the woman is Israel as a whole. Go ahead.
And went to make war with the remnant.
And went to make war with the remnant. Who was the remnant? Let's read on.
It said, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah.
What's the testimony of Yahweh Shah? Spirit of prophecy, man. So that proves that they got their eyes on the prophets, you know. But ultimately, the goal is to depopulate. Oh, that's what that fucking devil said. You know, that the banker guy. He said our goal is to depopulate the world, you know. But that's really going into Israel. That's why when you read, it's that Exodus, the first chapter, in the 7th verse, it tells you how even in ancient Egypt, which we're going to go into, that spirit in ancient Egypt, what they was looking to do, they were looking to kill off Israel, man. So you see how the scriptures all come together. That's prophecy, man. Although it happened, it's prophecy. The Lord is so cold, it was written all to tell you what's about to happen today. If you ain't got the eyes to see it, that's on you. Right? Go ahead.
Because on Sirach 33 and verse 14, good is set against evil, and life against death. So it's
the same fight, the same struggle in the womb. See, go ahead.
So it's the godly against the sinner.
Yeah, so it's the godly against the sinner. The godly is Israel, period. The sinner is Esau, man. Because you have wicked people. The Lord said that I found among my people wicked men, but that wickedness is based upon, you know, the influence, them cleaving to the wicked. See that? Which is the so-called white man. Go ahead.
It says, so it's the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly.
Yep, go ahead.
It says, so look upon all the works of the Most High.
Yeah, so you shouldn't marvel when we present this form of teaching to you. We tell you that this man is about to come up against you. This is a fight. This is a war. This friction. You shouldn't marvel at that, because the Lord said, hey, consider his works. Read that again.
It says, so look upon all the works of the Most High.
Yeah, you turn on a damn documentary about Africa. The Serengeti or some shit. You don't see tigers ripping deers apart and shit all day, man. Those are the works of Yahweh Shem Shah. So when you consider the works of the Lord, this shouldn't, you know, be marveling to you. Go ahead.
And there are 2 and 2.
See?
One against another.
See, one against another. Everything is pit against another, man. You sleep and you wake up. That's a fight. You sit down, you stand up. That's a fight. You spit, you swallow. You receive, give me something, or you give. Everything is set 2 and 2, man. The sun set and the sun rise. When it becomes dark, you see the moon ascend and the sun set on the other side. There's a fight. And in one breath, the sun overcome in this day. But now we're in the night, right? The night won. Everything that the Lord sets up is 2 and 2 against another, man. That's the balance, the duality of Yahweh Shema Shah. All right. So it goes back to the womb, that struggle. So again, That's why we understand perfectly through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai that ultimately this man is going to attempt to come up against us. Now, real quick, anybody else got some? Did you have some over there?
No, I ain't had none.
Let's get that with the military, the advancements, one of the advancements of the military.
Okay.
And let's go into why that's so.
Okay.
All right.
This is, we got this off Task Purpose, November 13, 2020, your prophecy. It says, the view through the Army's new night vision goggles is next effing level.
Yeah. So this is one of the advancements. So yeah, so you want to...
No, it just said next effing level.
Yeah.
Like they even are made. Like
Yeah. Yeah, that's heavy, man. But you know, this is not gonna intrigue or this is not gonna provoke, you know, the mindset of a lot of jakes, even guys with fringes. You know? But this right here, this ties into, you know, the sword. The advancement of this technology is all a part of the sword that we read about in Revelation the 6th chapter, Genesis the 27th chapter, what was given to Esau? A sword, which when you read Revelation the 6th chapter is emphasized as a great sword. So now it has advanced, just like the serpent advanced to some damn big 7-headed dragon. See? Go ahead, Doc.
It said the Army has been fielding its next generation night vision goggles to soldiers for just over a year. And
so that's fresh. This is got a second turn. Real time. I'm trying to see I can put this like new. Yeah, go ahead, read that again, huh?
Yeah, kind of. It says the Army has been fielding its next generation night vision goggles to soldiers for just over a year.
Go ahead.
And recent release footage.
Hold up, why? that's why.
Yeah.
Why was there an emphasis put on getting these soldiers, which we know those soldiers here, boots is gonna be on the ground here in America. The war is over here now. And that's why you see, if you've been paying attention, you see these different videos come out where you see these tanks and they're coming into these neighborhoods. I actually did a video on it. Where I used to work at, it's the train tracks right there. It was a 8-minute long tanks, and you know, then the shit had like the medical type shit. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck, you know, but the shit was coming, you know, right in the hood, man. Which is a lot of videos out there that surface and that show you that, but that show you that those soldiers who are given this technology, where they gonna be at? They're gonna be here, man. And real quick before you continue, you remember your boy Trump? He came out and said, he said, look, man, the max is going to be enforced by way of the military, period. And he said, we're ready to deploy over 1 million troops, man. See, so let's read this. And we're gonna see where we're going with this. All right, go ahead.
It says that and recently released footage provides a look at the new system's remarkable capabilities. Soldiers assigned to the 3rd Infantry Brigade Combat Team, 25th Infantry Division, recently conducted training with the enhanced night vision goggles binoculars.
Why? Again, why you need night vision? Why you prepared to come after certain subjects in the night? Why that's the case? Well, it's all centered around biblical prophecy. You know? Go ahead.
It says towards the end of the training, footage posted to DVIDS, which is the Defense Visual Information Distribution Service. The Army provides a brief look of what the view through the ENVGB and FWSI actually looks like, which, as our colleagues at the War Zone absurdly put it, looks like something out of a first-person shooter video game.
Call of Duty. Black Ops.
Show it.
It says the new night vision goggles designed to fuse standard night vision with thermal scanning during daytime and nighttime operation.
Yeah, why nighttime? Yep, go ahead.
Allowing close combat forces the ability to observe and maneuver in all weather conditions through obscurance during limited visibility and under all lightning conditions.
Now that's the point, under limited visible conditions. Now the reason why we bring that out is right down here where we at in Jefferson County, it was a blackout, man. And the spirit, now not just here, but it was statewide, which I showed y'all in the chat where you had Baldwin County, all these different counties. You had that blackout. Now you remember a week ago, Mexico, you had the blackout, right? Not to mention a week ago, I did the lesson with the information you gave me. Well, through the spirit, I was spotlighting how that's how they're gonna come. They're gonna shut the power down. Which that was, you had certain whistleblowers out there, insiders who came out with that information, where they said pretty much that red list, blue list, and yellow list that we often harp on, touch on. There's going to be a way it's going to be executed. They're going to do it under the banner of darkness. You got the U.S. government who's planning these planned blackouts, man. Now, one of the insiders, he said they got the national blackout, 2 to 3 day. Then you got certain blackouts that's going to be in certain regions, certain pockets of America. Now, you know that they just had it here today, right? They had the blackout, man. And in the spirit, when I got the information, I was like, damn. I thought about the live screen, like, man, we had to probably go enough. Because my shit, y'all was out over here. See, that's another thing. Where we at now, it was a power outage. But where I was at, the power was still on, So I was like, well, yeah, we had to do something. We just do the. But then it came back. But we know right there that was your how about Shema Shah showing us first and foremost. But it gives credence to what we've been saying the whole time, and it goes back to the first deliverance, which that's what we're going to go into. It's going to be darkness here in America. Give me Revelation real quick, and let's give them the blue letter too. All right. Go. Okay. You have more over here?
Yeah, I just want.
Then we're gonna get what I got. Go ahead.
Now back on what you said, that the guy that brought that information out was David Goldberg.
Yeah.
And a few weeks after that, all right, he was pretty much executed. Not to say murder, executed, he just died. Let's just say that to be safe. Went missing.
Oh, let's show you right now through the spirit. You got guys that say, like, Aaron Russo. They just came up missing, and people deny that they ever lived. No. But here it is. We coming out. We calling names, man, and we doing it under the banner of Yahweh Shema Shah. That's why these devils are hesitant. They know. Well, they know they got these different pronosticators on the left hand side, and they know about Psalms 105. Touch not my prophets and do my anointing no harm. And they know this is chess. If they make that move, Yahweh Shai, boom. Yahweh Shai ain't got to make it. Yahweh Shai make one move and not a board confused. Yeah, go ahead. So give me what you got.
You want? Okay. This from IFL Science. It said the insane Capella 2 satellite that can see through walls.
Okay, so now they got this satellite that can see through walls, man. Well, that goes back to the attribute of the eagle, though, in the spirit. Everything in the spirit. Well, we know the attributes of the eagle. One of his attributes is keen eyesight. Where this man have the ability, as we know the eagle, to see from on high. That's why you have these satellites like that are going into. It's not that the quality of an eagle. The eagle is in the air, and yet he can see his prey from so many thousand feet on the ground, even underwater. Damn fish underwater, man. Go ahead.
It says a U.S. space satellite company is transforming the way we see our planet, and they're removing every barrier in their way, including walls. Currently orbiting Earth at 7.5 kilometers per second. Capella 2 satellite is the world's highest resolution synthetic acupuncture radar.
Damn, the resolution, that goes into sight too. Clearness. But hold up, why? Because we know that this man is going to come after us, man. That's what this thing goes into, man. And this man is pretty much boasting in his weaponry, man. But that's the Lord pretty much setting it up like that. Like you have a fight, 225 pounds. Then you had the other guy, he 100 and some change soaking wet. But it's a reason why they frame both of them so when the little one wins, you're like, oh shit. That's why the Lord got this man boasting in all his technology. So when it jumps off, you're going to see the victors is going to be, the underdog pretty much. That dynamic between King David, and Goliath. Yeah, real quick, let me get this and we'll go back.
This Psalm 17, I started at verse 10. It says they are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly.
Yeah, and again we touched on that. Oh, we saw that again last night, man. I kind of meditated on that video. You know, of course, my whole meditating terror, man. Let me get my hand on this little motherfucker. The little banker nigga was talking, but that was pride at its height, you know. But we know that pride goes into, you know, the rallying cry. We are proud to be an American, the military, and you know, and in this case, there are laws, there are legislations. Well,
he said they have now compassed us in our steps.
Yeah, and that's a war strategy. When you compass someone, you circle them off. Go ahead.
They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth.
They set their eyes bowing down to the earth. That goes into their satellites, which that was the article the brother was going into. All right, give me what you got. Let's roll around.
Okay, this is the book of Psalm 64, and I'm gonna start at verse 2. It says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity."
Yeah, and that hiding process starts now. You know, us, all of you who have been gathered into this hearing, man, you are hid from the wicked, man. The process starts now. Psalm 91. Go ahead.
It says, "Who whet their tongue like a sword."
Yep. Go ahead.
"And bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words."
Yep, even bitter words. So again, their words, once they wage war on you, once they demonize you, then that justifies them and they're thinking to come after you. Again, your teeth is found in your mouth. So the teeth of the so-called white man, being his military, is shown through his words. When he growled, which we went into that word, it goes back to growl. I forget which one we looked up.
Roar. I think was it roar?
I think
roar. Yep, the roar. We looked at roar. Yep, the word roar, and it went back to growl. So that's how the military, your teeth is shown once you open your mouth with your laws. See? Real quick, hold that. Give me what you got.
Real quick, this on Psalm 59 and 7. Behold, they belch out with their mouth. Swords are in their lips.
Yep, swords are in their lips. It goes into their teeth. So that's how they wage war on you. That's why that's why we understand the sense of urgency here, man. See this man all of a sudden coming up with legislation and laws, and it's all geared towards you getting hit up. You know? You getting annihilated. Go ahead.
Come read this again. It says
that word got like a spirit to it, man. Annihilated shit. And for real, make you picture motherfucker eyes rolling back. You just annihilate nigga like, what's what this nigga annihilated. Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
Psalms 64 and verse 3 again. It says, "Who whet their tongue like a sword."
Yep, go ahead.
And I got the word wet.
Okay.
Real quick. It says, "Sharpen the blade or a tool or weapon."
Yep.
If I may, that's like when they said get them night vision goggles. That's them sharpening their sword, man. You looking at somebody across the room, this guy got the blade looking at you, man. And his lips water.
Sharp. But when you sharp something, you make it cut. See, like let's say like if you got a dull axe, you do a lot more hacking. But once you sharpen it, you ain't got to do that much. You just cut right through the chase. They're making it easier to just cut right through. They're eliminating the red tape. Right? Go ahead.
It says, "Who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words."
Yep, even bitter words. See? Go ahead.
"That they may shoot in secret at the perfect."
Yeah, yep. And that's what an arrow symbolizes. Somebody shoot a bow and arrow at you, nobody can see it or really hear it. You can't see it either till it hits you. Yep, go ahead.
It says, "Suddenly do they shoot at him."
Yep, suddenly, all of a sudden, you was just, going about your day-to-day here in Babylon, then all of a sudden that footage came out of them Moabites. Them goops, they was falling out, man. I remember when I first saw it in spirit. I still remember. Goops was falling out at the bus station. Why they ain't being annihilated, man? They had it worse than anybody I saw. Real tough. They had it. If there was such a thing, the goops had it, according to what we saw. Remember the goop, it was the one goop. I know I ain't tripping. The goop fell out in the avalanche. It was actually the goop paramedic who fell out. He came on the scene and shit. Then he fell out, man. It was going down over there, right? Now all of a sudden nobody hear about the goops.
They turning black.
Yeah.
Turning brown.
Now all of a sudden they know where to be found. The spotlight is on you. they come after the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. See that, man? Those the build a word. That's this nigga shooting in secret at you, man. See?
So.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Isaiah 29:15 says, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark."
Yeah, their works are in the dark, man. This is well calculated. These devils strategize this, man. This is ongoing. This going back years, man. Now we found out why I was niggas in the science. Now we found out why I was the CDC. It was all an effort to fulfill biblical prophecy. And it's heavy by the Lord said the pestilences and the plagues. We see that that was that seed from that pestilence. You know, this is what you have. But you know, the spirit is on us to see that this is nothing more than a so-called white man creeping up on us, man, making his move. See? Go ahead.
And they say, "Who seeth this and who knoweth this?"
Pride. Yep.
That banker.
Yeah, that banker nigga, man. You see that? I'm telling you, man. You shouldn't tell him, man. I'm gonna fuck that nigga up, man. That was a proud motherfucker, man. Yep, go ahead. More.
I'll go back in the article.
Yep. Not that often. We're gonna go back in that article.
Kind of verse 5. It says they encourage themselves in the even manner. They commune of laying snares privily.
Yep. So that's their communication of laying snares privily. See, go ahead.
They say, "Who shall see them?"
Yep. All right, come on. You got them on.
Back in the article, what made this satellite even more special, however, is just how penetrating the radar is. Much like a signal from your cell phone can penetrate through walls in certain scenarios.
Hey, do you see that? Do you see that? Come on, man. That's the technology. That's the time we in. They didn't have technology. They see through the wall. You in Jerusalem, you know. You hide behind a brick wall. No, man. Here, they can see through your walls, man. Can you? Hey, that's why the prophets, when the prophets saw these visions, it tells you how the prophets would get sick. They would have to be strengthened. They would have to be ministered unto, comforted from the visions that they saw. Imagine that. This nigga got choppers and you running. And it's gonna get real though. It's gonna get real. It's gonna be breathtaking, man, when it start happening. See motherfuckers running. You know, the Lord got you saying that shit just for prophets to say, motherfucker run and hide. Then you see super soldiers flying behind his ass, man. Like a car and shit. Hey, they got them suits like that. See, this is above the strength of Jake on a low level. They don't know this spiritual intensity that's about to take place here on the planet. Oh, that's why we gonna be delivered through spiritual power. And that's the only, and it's like wishful thinking. Let's say if you didn't have the scriptures and somebody told you they're gonna come at you with this and that, then how you gonna get away? It's just like a joke, you understand? I'm gonna disappear. You know what I mean? Guess what? That's it. To that person, they'll be crazy. But we can say that, but we got something to lean on. We can go into something and say why we feel that way, man. And it's the only thing that makes sense. It's not this nigga technology groundbreaking. This nigga can see through walls, man. That's why we know Isaiah 59 chapter, where it says the Lord is going to hide you, man. Oh, well, that goes into the history. That happened in with Elisha. I think it was Elisha, yeah. Well, the Assyrians, which that's the modern day America, they came after him. And the scriptures say how the Lord, the Lord caused them to be blind, meaning He hid Elisha from them, man. So that's why when this devil, he got the technology. This is the only doctrine that links up with reality. If this nigga got the technology to see through your house, how that's gonna be combated with the teachings of Yahweh Shah, man? Life. See, life a bad doctrine because it ain't just you saying everlasting life. It's gonna be life situation. You're gonna be escaping. It's gonna be based upon a doctrine, man. That's why the scriptures say Isaiah 33rd chapter say that. Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability. The doctrine of life is going to be in effect, man. Yep. Come on.
I want to say this too, like just so an illustration going into like the movie The Dark Knight with the Joker. When the Batman was trying to find the Joker, you know, he had something called a sonogram, something like that. And you can see it through the walls. He was on the phone trying to find him.
Yeah,
so that's what this going into. Really, the Edomites in the movies trying to tell you, hey, this technology, we working on it, and they working on it right now.
Hey, that's a part of the boasting.
Yeah.
Right.
Motherfucker telling you that I'm gonna fuck you up, you know. But you a child. You gotta remember that element. That's why you put it in movies and instead of just coming out saying, look, you my enemies, man, and we gonna, you know, he the Joker, like that crazy guy, like, oh shit. You got more?
Gotta read back in. Much like the signal from your cell phone can penetrate the walls in certain scenarios, so too can the SAR technology, the image produced create an eerie landscape of ghost buildings that allow users of the satellite imagery to gain a 3D insight onto the area in question.
God damn, 3D, man. Insight into the area in question. So they know what we sing, they know what we you know, congregate, and all of you out there. Remember, we ain't gonna go into it, but you should know by now the red list, blue list, yellow list. You see what it all ties in. But it say to the area in question. So they already got in their crosshairs who they, you know, have identified and targeted, you know, as enemies of the state, if you will. Go ahead, Op.
And the same technology also allows the Capella 2 to see straight through the clouds. This is the true strength of the SAR. While most satellites require a clear day to capture a view of the ground, the SAR satellites can be operational without relying on good weather.
Come on, man. Here it is. You can't even see through your windshield. Man, this nigga can see through clouds, through rain, through. Again, that goes back into the technology that is really the Lord boosting them up. The Lord boosting them up like Goliath. Remember with Goliath, he was boosted up like he was this tall. He was but that's what's going on now. The Lord, look what this nigga got. You know. And you know what I mentality? You uncircumcised. Who took this uncircumcised? Fuck him, man. Heathen. I was in that spirit at camp. I saw when the motherfucker rolled by the Edomites and proud on the bikes. That was hit my mouth. Said, who the fuck did you know? You fucking yeah. You come out of the cage. Who the fuck are you, man?
Cause I got precept to back this up.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Obadiah 1 and 3. The proud of their heart have deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the breath of the rocks, whose habitation is high.
Yep. Woo, whose habitation is high, man. Yeah, and that goes to across the board, you know, because they actually high-minded as well. Go ahead.
That's said in his heart.
See, that's said in his heart. See, high-minded. Go ahead.
Who shall bring me down to the ground?
Yep.
Verse 4, thou that exalt thyself as the eagle.
See, that exalt thyself as the eagle. And again, the qualities of an eagle is from on high, which again goes into the satellites. He can see his prey, you know. Go ahead.
And thou that settest thy nest amongst the stars.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and they set their nest among the stars, which, you know, Spirit had when you really go deep into that word nest, it means place for storing weapons. All right? You got more up?
This when I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm. So the Lord ultimately is going to bring you down from that exalted place, you know? And simultaneously, you know, we're going to be exalted, you know, and fulfill that lot of being on top. All right, so yep. Anybody else got something else for me? Yeah, we can go back into
yeah, that was it on that last article. Got another article from the week. This is cyber attack. It says U.S. officials are reportedly privately worried Russia stole blueprints for the U.S. blackout restoration.
So now you check it out. I'm gonna let Ark expound more, but you know, again, that show you how these devils be setting the narrative. Why you want me to know that? See, these are the questions. Because you gotta remember, his media is him. He wants you to know certain things. That's a hunter, a cunning hunter. You know, if you got whatever prey that you hunt, you want him to see something. You want him to hear something. You know, like you have the duck call, or you might have, because the rat end up on the trap is by his lust. He's driven to that trap. It ain't really the trap that did so much. It was you led to the trap, but it was some on the trap. So that's the media. The media, fuck you want me to know that for, man? See, read that again. Huh?
Yeah, January 2nd, 2021, year of Hastings. U.S. officials are reportedly privately worried Russia stole blueprints for U.S. blackout.
You gonna put that out there? Sensitive, top secret information between two major superpowers. You want me? We end up with it. That's why it comes in your feed. Ain't that the trap?
That's it. That's it.
You got the cheese, and you bite on whatever they good. Then bam, you snap. That's why you get it through your feed. We end up with this tonight. Fuck, this top secret information. We got this information, man. But you got, again, two superpowers, balance of power, Russia, and you're going to tell us, the secrets. Get the fuck out of here. Read that one more time and run through it. Now you got it.
Kind. It says U.S. officials are reportedly private word Russia stole blueprints for U.S. blackout restoration. In public, American officials have said they do not believe Russia SVR intelligence agency pierced classified systems and stole sensitive communication and plans during
Why we know about that? And simultaneous is blackouts. But now you saying Russia did. You creating this narrative. So when it happens, a nigga who deep into the news. See, Russia got him, you know what I mean?
Said stole sensitive communication and plans during that.
Well, we're gonna show you in the scripture where that's Esau. Yeah. That's one of the approaches. Mm-hmm. This devil gonna, he gonna cut the lights out and come after you. Go ahead.
That's it. It says, and plans during the alleged cyber attack on what may have hundreds of networks in the United States. The New York Times reports, but privately, per the Times, those same officials reported say they still aren't sure exactly what was or was not taken. It says there are concerns that SVR, which is U.S. intelligence agency, and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo are confident was behind the breach, despite President Trump suggesting China may have been involved instead of Moscow.
So you got a first-hand seat in their meeting.
Yeah.
You hearing them going back and forth? No, it was probably China. Man, come on, man.
Kind of, albeit unclassified information from victims like Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, for example, it's reported possible that hackers accessed Black Start. Say that again. Read that again. Reportedly possible that hackers accessed Black Start, the detailed technical blueprints for how the U.S. would restore power if there was a major blackout.
Come on now.
But it's stolen.
But isn't that a movie? You got they came in and stole the treasure chest that had all the blueprints in it for us to get the power back on. Get the fuck out of here, man. You got storage, you got different floppy disks. That's old school shit.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they got
it. So you tell me the CEO of Alabama Power can't come up with a formula to restore power, but he the CEO.
Yeah. But something in Russia stole it.
Within
and they're like, get it back. Nope. You know what I mean? Nope, I ain't giving it back. Get the fuck out of here, man. Y'all ain't playing on the psyche of the people. But this the thing. Why? Why now? Because you reading something from yesterday. Ain't that January 2nd, right?
2021. Yeah.
So you see where it all come together. Why the military boosting or advancing the night vision technology? Why all of a sudden you hear the story of blackout? We coming out in the spirit talking about it, man. And you see it actually happen. Now you got right here where all this information, this surge of activity, that Esau released information, sensitive information, showing you that, oh man, they might steal, Russia can steal the formula just in case the power go out.
It's crazy. Oh, this it here though. It says, I'll continue to read. It says, if that was indeed the case, Russia would theoretically have a list of systems it could target to keep power from turning back on.
Hey, come on, man. So that's what they're doing. They hit you with blackouts and they're coming back on. But when they come a certain time, Russia hit us. We can't do that now. Russia got it or China got it. Now we can't turn it back on. You see what I'm saying?
You can't blame the people you voted for. You got to blame Russia and China. That's a deceivable.
That's a crazy motherfucker right there.
there.
That's a liar and a thief.
Yeah.
That nigga putting it on, you know what I mean? You gotta kill, you gotta get rid of a nigga like that. Nigga not lying, you know it was him, bro. You know what I mean? He trying to kill you.
Oh man.
Yeah, go ahead. Huh?
This last paragraph says the Times report sheds more light on the cyber attack, which means you can go to Times to to read more upon it. Says which may not be fully understood for months or even years. Some of the revelations include the fact that the hack appears to have been much broader in scope than originally thought, and that the hackers managed their intrusion from servers inside the U.S. by exploiting legal.
But they can tell where a nigga who missed court or some, somehow they find a nigga on some little crazy shit. But this could be, they saying, if I'm hearing this right, they could be in.
Yeah, they said in scope that originally thought, and that the hackers managed their intrusion from servers inside the U.S. by exploiting legal.
So this is the question you gotta ask, why would Russia do that? Like, what would that benefit Russia? It'll be dark over here. And then let's say it's just some guy fucking around. Because, Esau play like that. You got these weirdos who, Well, let's say there's a guy like that. Why he ain't getting bread off of it, man? You got that type of technology. You just want to shut off everybody's power. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Where Mark Zuckerberg at?
Yeah.
And this, to counteract that with the.
You gotta watch certain words, yeah. See, that's what I'm telling you. That's why hot, man. I seen that. Hot Chandler's getting knocked off. I'm telling you, man. Because it's them little bitch ass nigga like that that's watching. Like, nigga probably, yeah.
This nigga you gonna see the interrogation room.
Yeah. Come man.
Yeah.
I heard what you said. I personally heard. No, man, let me show you something. I'm subscribed to every. You remember this? The nigga PDL, Scoffer. And that was him. Yeah, go ahead. Huh?
Yeah. Continue on. It says the hackers managed their intrusion from servers inside the U.S. by exploiting legal prohibitions on the National Security Agency. That's how they got it.
Yeah, they playing, man. But again, we got the most compelling evidence because we just showed you, through the Spirit, we just put the piece together why that's coming out. The military, for one, advancing their technology for night vision. Why is that? We witnessed. There was a blackout in here tonight. I mean, earlier today in this house and all throughout the county, mostly, and other parts of. Oh, it was another one in Indiana too. You knew that one too. In South Bend, Indiana. They like a big Catholic town. But you're gonna see more of that. It's gonna be in different pockets sporadically. But see now all of a sudden, as they feed you with this through the news feeds, they they showing you this through the news feeds. They paint the narrative. Russia done hit us for the.
Man, I tell y'all, if the lights all of a sudden go out as a blackout, blame Russia. That's
while we come after you and round up. You gotta remember, according to them inside, they're gonna be coming trying to round certain up. They're trying to do it under the shroud of darkness. I don't want you to see me, being wicked, man. But the Lord is gonna hold them up on you in that day. Go ahead.
Yeah, this Job 24:14. It says, the murderer rising with the light killeth the poor and needy, and in the night is as a thief.
Yeah, in the night. And a thief, you creeping around, you know what I'm saying? You got a nigga creeping in your house with the fuck you doing here, man? You know what I'm saying? You here to kill me. The lights out. That fucker, you know what I mean? I catch you in there with the lights out, mask. Your weapon, ain't nothing you can tell me, man. I know, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we know you want to do this under the stride of darkness. But again, Isaiah the 59th chapter tells you how in that day, the Lord Yahweh Shema is going to lift up that standard. Now, real quick, let's go to Revelation the 18th chapter. Let's get into the scriptures.
This Revelation.
Y'all had some more over there too. I kind of wanted to go rapid fire, y'all.
Yeah, that was it on that.
You had some?
The Alabama.
Okay, yeah, you can bring it out just for.
Today, it's still people, 138 people still got power outages in Alabama. But when I had first seen in the morning, it was like 500, And that had went down, that slipped like 10 minutes, woke back up, he went to 600, it just kept on jumping up.
Yeah, because that's the spirit. I don't know how it ended up. I looked it up, and it ended up like, you know how like if you could look at the debt clock, it's live. It's like a live, and it was showing you real time how many people power was going out, how many people sit, you know, it would show this many numbers go down, different counties. And it was one time, I'm not mistaken, I saw somebody, I don't know if it was overall, it might have been statewide, like 1,500. See? But why are we seeing that? Because again, you know, that's Esau pretty much setting the narrative, but we know it goes to Yahweh Shema Shah. That's the Lord showing us, you know, like the parable of the fig tree. When you see the fig tree begin to show forth his bud, what's the point of that parable? When you see tangible things happening, then you know where you at, man. Because you obviously see, you know, the buds, you know, shooting forth, and the branches becoming tender, and you know, oh, summer is not. So the Lord is showing us the prophecies, man. It's going to actually happen real time as we, you know, wait on our Lord. Okay, so now let's get Revelation 18 chapter. Let's go to the blue letter on there too.
Revelation 18 and 23.
Yep.
It said, "In the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee."
Yep, read that again. So somebody, one of the brothers said, I am Philly, I had a blackout. Yeah. Oh, he said, I had a blackout too. If that was the day, brother, hey, then that showed that it was more, you know, different, you know, more areas that had those blackouts.
Is it, if I may, in Alabama, it wasn't even on the news in there.
Yeah.
It was just like oblivious, you know.
Yeah, they didn't talk about it. Oh, well, they ain't got no article on it. It was just the spirit. It took me to like the Alabama power site or some crazy shit. And it gave me sensitive information. It gave me real time. You know?
Like in the round table.
Yeah. The Lord had me hacking. I ain't even trying to. Like spirit. And man, that's one of these guys, man, they back in, you know. Yep, but this is a part of prophecy. All this talk of blackouts, night vision, this is about to contribute to that fearful time. You about to see what fear is all about. The fear of Yahweh Shema Shah is going to begin to overwhelm the planet Earth. And what's going to contribute to that? Darkness. That's a part of this horror movie, man. This drama, if you will. Especially the hour we about to go into. Yep, you got something?
Got to preach up.
Yeah, go ahead. We're going to go back here.
Isaiah 60 and 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people.
Yeah.
But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
Yeah. And we know that's spiritual because there's going to the misinformation, disinformation that's on display, having you people in the dark. But that's actually going to morph into a physical darkness, man. It's going to be darkness here on the planet Earth. You know, in certain pockets, you're going to have certain areas that it might not be a blackout, you know. But again, the information, what's that guy? What's his name again?
David Goldberg.
Okay. That guy, he said, you know, which he was an insider, a whistleblower, he said again that the U.S. government is planning 2 to 3 day national blackouts, man. Then along with different pocket blackouts. So it's going to be sporadic. It's going to be times where your power might be up and somebody else's power might be on. But again, that's heavy. That's a good subtle point, a good point. How the news, they talk about that, man. Much as these news stations be hit or miss, they be reaching for a story. Niggas just talking about some crazy shit. Little boys shooting jump shots at the park. They just see some crazy shit on the news when they looking for some shit. Man, tell me this wasn't newsworthy, man. Just a random big time blackout. But that's how it's gonna be. You're not gonna be informed of that. See that? That was it on that?
Yeah, that was
all right, come on.
Revelation 18 and 23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee.
Yep, and the light of a candle shall not shine no more in thee. Which what we reading right here is Revelation the 18th chapter. What's the heading right here?
It said Babylon is fallen.
Babylon is fallen. So those of you who have eyes to see, we know that what we read here is concerning the fall of Babylon, man. And again, hey, you know the movies, you watch a movie and you see where the movie, it climax, you know, especially a good movie. And this is the best movie ever. You're at the edge of your seat if you have been given access to see this movie. You should be at the edge of your seat. And what's heavy about a movie, right? When you get into certain parts of the movie where it get crazy, what also contributes to the scene? The soundtrack. Straight up, the soundtrack.
True.
You hear eerie, you hear violin screeching. That's us, man. The song is becoming more dramatic as we roll. That's why we, in the spirit, as we spilled over into 2021, the bad news is coming, We sing in that song. We sing in the part. That's a part of that soundtrack, see? All right, so let's go back here. Read it one more time out and let's go into that word.
It said, and the light of a candle shall shine no more all in thee.
Yep, you probably cool.
And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall no more be heard in thee.
Yep, and that's one thing you're witnessing too. It said the voice of the bridegroom will not be heard no more in thee. That symbolizes rejoicing. You're not hearing 100,000 fans in the stadium. Yay! You don't hear the sound of the joy and the mirth of this earth anymore. That's being taken away. See? So now let's look up this word candle real quick. That's what you wanted to get right here. All right.
It's the word candle. And Revelation 18 and 23 in the Strong's G3088. Word is Lynch notes. It says a candle, a lamp that is placed on a stand or a candlestick. That's all we got.
Yeah, it's a strong one.
What's the strong Lord?
So you got candle.
Yeah, it's
What's
strong.
the strong? Go back to where you
Okay,
look. Mm-hmm. And for you to go there too.
I got it on there.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
All right, Con. So the word in the Strong's definition, it says a portable lamp or other illuminator.
Yeah, a portable lamp or other illuminator.
That's it.
See that? Go ahead.
Literally
Literally
or figuratively.
or figuratively. See?
Yep, candle, a light.
A light.
Yeah. So that was.
See that?
Let's get that. You want to get that on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Con.
And you can go into whatever you was going into.
I'm just gonna look at that word illuminator.
Yeah, go ahead. Now, again, we just read, a prophecy concerning the fall of Babylon. And one of those plagues, if you will, is the candle would shine no more in thee, man. So you're going to see blackouts here in America, man. That's a part of the luster and the shine of America being taken away. That's a part of the jewels. If you look at America from a plane, you see the bling. Those like studs. Earrings and shit like that, accessories. So the Lord gonna strip you, gonna take those accessories away, man. Yep. Come on,
Okay,
what you got?
that word illuminator, just a Google definition. It says one that illuminates, especially a device that gives physical light or that is used to direct light to a specific area.
Woo!
Or that is used to consecrate or reflect light.
Yeah, see that? And that's how this system set up. Light pole, where that goes back into that word candle. That's one of the words that's associated with that word candle. So the Lord's going to cut that access off, and that contributes to the luxury. This is not some far-fetched idea, man. We tell you that the Lord is going to take away the stability of you Americans. That's going to contribute to it. You think you're going to just be still with a remote in your hand, eating Wendy's, and that's no, this is going to get worse and worse. You're going to be tormented. And the scriptures say that as much as she have lived deliciously and luxuriously, so much replaced with torment and sorrow. So that's got to be replaced now. The light's got to be replaced with darkness. See? And this is the reality of the scriptures, man. This is the rawness of the scriptures. And this is what you should desire to be under. Hey, they wish they would have hearkened to that harsh teaching of Noah, because Noah tell them they're going to die, man. So if somebody just give it to you raw, now you know what to pray for, and you can prepare, to brace yourself for that impending danger that's on the horizon. All right. So now let's go back. Matter of fact, let's go here.
This Wisdom of Solomon 17:5.
Yep.
It said, no power of the fire might give them light.
No power of the fire might give them light, man. Why is that? Because that power is the very thing that's that resource to give you light. That's why you have a power bill. That's your power, man. Oh, matter of fact, give me real quick. Is that Job 20, the light of his candle? Yep, read this again.
It says, no power of the fire might give them light.
Yeah, so no power. You're not going to have any power. By the fire is going to give them light. And again, when you read right here, it's concerning Egypt, man, which we know in the spirit, this translates to now. You know, the spiritual Egypt, as referred to in the book of, what's that, Revelation, the 11th chapter? Spiritual Egypt being the place of our captivity. All right, give me what you got real quick.
This is the book of Job 18, verse 5. Yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out.
Yep, go ahead.
And his spark of his fire shall not shine.
Go ahead.
The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him.
Yeah, and that tabernacle symbolizes the house. Now we understand that that's concerning, you know, the wisdom of Teman. But hey, that darkness is going to be on all levels, man. These different houses, these tabernacles, is not, the light is no more going to shine. Not so much as a spark when that bill, when that power is taken away. All right, you got something up?
Yeah. Job 29:3. When his candle shined upon my head, and when by his light I walked through darkness.
Woo, and through the light I walked through darkness, man. So again, that's going to spill over to you know, a physical sense as well. You know, when all hell breaks loose, when there's darkness, it's going to be by way of this light, this understanding that's going to keep you on that day, man. All right. And you know, another thing that happened too when the children of Israel came out of Egypt with Yahushua leading them, it was by that pillar of fire by night. So in the spirit, you know, we're going to have power. Again, this is only the beginning, man. And you have been exposed to some very strange teachings. This is not of the earthly realm. Prepare yourself for signs and wonders, man. For miraculous signs, man. That's what we're involved in, man. That happened in the time when Yahushua asked the prophets before then, you know, and that is going to be really capped off in this time. All right.
Yeah, I got something to back that up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Matthew 5:14. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
Yep. And that's dealing with those of us who had this information. We are the carriers of supreme light, you know, and understanding. And this can't be hid. That's why it's being pushed forth unto you, man. All right. So now, what you got?
Got a little song, Job 10.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Job 10:21. Before I go, whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness, in the shadow of death.
Yep, even to the land of darkness, the shadow of death. All right, go ahead.
A land of darkness, as darkness itself, in the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness.
Yep. So, hey, when you go into ancient Egypt, that was a time where the Lord actually cut the power off, so to speak. It was gross darkness, but they said that darkness was so thick that you can feel it, man. But guess what? The Lord is going to send those plagues again. Matter of fact, give me 2nd Ezra real quick. 15 and 11, I believe. 2nd Ezra 15 and 11. Then we're going to go back to where you at. And we'll get ready to start shutting it down. Y'all had all the information we wanted to bring out, right? Good. You got another precept?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
This is Additions to Esther 2 and verse 8. And lo, a day of darkness and obscurity, tribulation and anguish, affliction and great uproar upon the earth.
Woo!
And the whole righteous nation was troubled, fearing their own evils, and were ready to perish. Then they cried unto the Most High, and upon their cry, as it were from a little fountain, was made a great flood, even much water. The light and the sun rose up, and the lowly were exalted and devoured the glory.
Yeah, and that summarized everything, you know. And one of the words that was in that list of plagues was darkness, you know. But eventually, the Lord's going to preserve us through that hour, you know. But yeah, that's going to contribute to this. And again, we can go into current events. You can go on. We can filter everything through the scriptures, and we can show you well. See, there's nothing coincidental. Why all of a sudden that information, you know, landed on our desk, man, because it was meant for us to, you know, push it forward. Or I will sit upon my watch and see what I should answer when I'm reproved. So this information, you see certain stuff coming out, for the most part, it's not just irrelevant. It all has a part of biblical prophecy, especially when it concerns, you know, something global you know, or mainly when you see Esau, you know, push forth anything that even sounds remotely like it plays into his agenda, you got to pay attention to that, man. We ought to be circumspect. But again, you can see where there's information out there that proves the scriptures to be correct, man. Which we don't need that external information, you know, because we believe through faith. But that's just the Lord submitting that, you know, by giving you information, man. You know, driving it home for you. So you got something else over there? All right, so let's go back.
God, Wisdom of Solomon 17:5. No power of the fire might give them light. Neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night.
Yep, that horrible night. Which we're contributing to it, that thick darkness, that deep darkness, man. Okay? And that happened when? In the time of ancient Egypt, right? So now give me 2 Ezra 15.
All right, 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 11. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues, as before.
See, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. So what? It's another Egypt? Yeah, it is. It's a spiritual Egypt, and that would be America. The Lord said, I will smite this Egypt as he smote the Egypt before. And what contributed to that blow, that death blow from Yahweh Shema Shah? But one of the plagues was darkness. See, read that again.
2 Ezra 15 and verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof.
Yeah. So the Lord said he's going to smite Egypt with plagues as before. And again, one of those plagues was darkness. Go ahead.
It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten.
Yeah, very principles, everything you built upon is going to be smitten. It's already smitten. Hey, when the Lord smites you, you start, just imagine you hit a brick wall and it start cracking. When the Lord smites you, that's it. He ain't got to hit you just that one blow, man. Now this place is crumbling, the very foundation of it. See, and again, you can see that, you know, by way of the plateau of this place, America, the very landscape of it changes dramatically and drastically. America as you once knew it is not the same America, man. Okay? That's the form of this place mourning, the very foundation of it. Read it again.
It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it.
Yep, that the Most High shall bring upon it. And we were speaking about that briefly before we went on live, about how you actually got people out there that have this information. They know about the U.S. government and their plans to, try to seize control of, their new world order being established or what have you. But guess what? That's a ceiling to that. We can go a step above. We can tell you why and who's the power and driving force behind it. And that's what you just read. Read that one more time.
It's 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 12. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plagues and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it.
So this is the Lord's drama, man. All right, this was written by Yahweh Shema Shah, and this is a scene in that movie. This is a very dangerous scene, in relation to the elect and how we're going to be scarcely, escaping certain situations. That's going to add to the drama, man. And this is how the Lord and his power is going to be shown, through marvelous works that's going to be far beyond the strength and the comprehension of the average person. You have to be, rooted and grounded in this truth, the spirit and power Yahweh Shema Shah to rest and settle upon you to even entertain, this form of teaching. But as it were, here we are, man. And the Lord gave us this truth, and we can see the danger approaching, but our trust is firmly, in our Lord, man. So anybody else got something?
Real quick.
All right, go ahead.
It's Luke 21:20.
I was thinking about that. Earlier. I'm glad you brought that out. Go ahead.
Luke 21:20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the destination thereof is nigh.
Yep. So you see Jerusalem compassed with armies. And Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. So wherever Jake at, suddenly the so-called white man is going to begin to compass you, surround you. And that's going to be all an effort to fulfill biblical prophecy. Again, Esau rising up against his brother Jacob. That's the climax of this movement, man. The time of Jacob's trouble. And that trouble is going to be facilitated, if you will, by the wrath of his brother. Remember, Revelation the 12th chapter, the devil shall come down with great wrath. Man, it's beautiful times. You know, very exciting times, you know, in relation to biblical prophecy. So with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders, the great millstone. Shalom to the brothers laboring in his work. And as always, you believe as the Akim as well as the Aqua. Let's subscribe to this truth as well. To the next time, Shalom.
Shalom, DTA, Abba, Abba.